Okay. Good evening. Hola, hola. Hola. Yes. Hola. Okay. First of all, please feel comfortable. Until now, I didn't realize the translator is here. So, thank you. Yeah, so, please feel comfortable physically and as well as mentally. You know, there are so many holy objects. All the holy objects are blessed, which represent Buddha's qualities. So there are already immense of positive energy which already exists within this mandala. And more than that, I think each and every one of us come here with positive intention, or at least clean intention. So therefore, if you open your heart, like the antenna getting on to receive all this positive energy, blessings, positive knowledge, and transformation, which are so necessary and which are so helpful for happiness after happiness. So, in order to do that, minimum, first minimum we need to settle our heart by all the past, busy mind leaving aside, and also all the future uncertainty, concern. Let it just hold on to. So that is the starting point. Yeah. So you are translating simultaneously?
Yes.
Oh, really? Okay.
By improving.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. Yes. Oh, yeah. So like that. Yeah. So we take a moment, to set positive motivation in order to utilize, your time, precious time here, to be most beneficial for your own benefit, as well as to be able to share the benefit with numberless sentients. So there are so many different levels of positive intentions or positive attitudes, but among all, the supreme attitude is the bodhicitta attitude. So the bodhicitta attitude is simply expressing the wishes from depth of one's heart. May every single moments of my time, may every single existence of my body, spirit, and mind be the complete cause of temporary happiness as well as ultimate happiness of numberless sentient beings. In order for me to do that most effective way, then I must actualize full enlightenment. Or in order to do that, then I must learn the path. So in order to learn, then we need to have a conducive time to have a Dhamma discourse. So therefore, we are here. So may my time be most meaningful in this way. for the past about 2 weeks, using translation, I speak and stop. So now I'm a bit used to that. The initial time when I arrived here, when I arrived to Spain, because of I've been teaching in English directly, I'm not used to pausing. so this is the habit, how much can influence us. So this is also a sign that if we are accustomed to something, just matter of the time, we can be changed, we can be transformed. So therefore, all of us have the equal potential to transform, because all of us carry this very marvelous mind, marvelous consciousness. This marvelous consciousness or marvelous mind, it is innate nature, is no different than the Buddha. Its innate nature is pure. The innate nature has all the positive potentials. So we are not born innately with negativities or delusions or problems. So the problems, delusions, negativities are very much like temporary cloud that came to obscure the beautiful, vast, luminous space. Due to that reason, whatever difficulty that we are going through, whatever obstacle that we are going through in life, whatever emotional crisis that we are going through in life, whatever obstacle that obstruct us to progress, both in temporary happiness as well as in the spiritual realizations, all these are temporary and very gross. There's no weight in there. There's no substance in there. You see, so therefore, similar like what I said, I was so used to speaking directly, but because of 2-3 times, depending on the translator that I need to pause, now I'm already so used to it. Now I have a very wonderful translator who is translating simultaneously. Now I'm struggling. So therefore, this is the quality of our mind. You see? So this all the virtues, all the enlightened qualities, even Buddha's omniscient mind, Buddha's Dharmakaya wisdom, including bodhicitta, including direct realization on emptiness, including compassion, loving kindness, renunciation, even a basic virtue and inner peace. We feel like it's so difficult. So difficult. It's like so far. What are possible is like troubles, delusions, crisis, problems, giving up. We feel like those are the as if the main power, main environment that we are in, and that itself is a mistaken understanding. It's a mistaken view. So therefore, I think it is very important to recognize, who really we are. What is our innate value? What is our real potential? You see, So that is the basis where you can develop all the other qualities, all the happiness, from the temporary happiness to the everlasting happiness. You see. So therefore now, we take a moment to quiet and just talk to yourself or tell yourself, my nature, my potential is Buddha nature, Buddha potential. The potential to all the happiness and positivities. So try to have one moment just to reflect inwardly, and see how much deeply that you can able to express that. And some of you may not feel it. Some of you may really feel, yes, that's it, I found it. So, and some of you may even feel that, in fact, all those positive qualities are, awakened in very great degrees. You see, and some of you may even find that right now it's completely clouded mind. Even asked to think positive, but the main force is, intruded by negative emotions like anxiety, anger, frustrations, grasping, like that. So if you have any negative side, then you just feel the presence of Buddha Dhamma Sangha, then you are blessed to purify and transform. If you realize that you are already developing those potentials, then you should feel rejoiced. Then make a strong determination to pursue with a joyous effort. And some of you may already achieve Buddhahood. Who knows? If you are Buddha already and you are here just to support all of us, then please bless us. Okay. Yeah, so we'll take one moment, okay? So try to recognize who really you are. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so as I mentioned before, and all the scriptures, both in Sutra and Tantra, that you see that Buddhas have already, how to say, already stated through their omniscient finding that entire numberless sentient being, like, all of us, we have the Buddha potential. Our true nature is the Buddha nature. But at the same time, as long as we are under the control of karma and delusion, then we are the rebirth that we are in that condition, that is regarded as a samsaric sentient being, not an enlightened being, a samsaric sentient being. So whether we are samsaric sentient being or not is very much defined by whether we are under the control of this karma and delusion. Even though they are not our innate nature, but then due to a lack of awakening in the past, then we get obscured. So now the purpose of Buddha revealing the Dharma is for us to get awakened, for us to get free from the control or the intrusion or the contamination by the karma and delusion. So therefore, Buddha taught the stages of the path, which is the tool to use to transform ourselves from the control by karma and delusion, by getting rid of karma and delusion, to actualize freedom, and that freedom is called the liberation. Liberation, not necessarily that has to be the liberation that we are talking about, enlightenment. There are different stages of liberations. Generally, the liberation, there are three kind of liberations. The liberation of Hira, liberation of solitary, liberation of Mahayana. So the highest state of liberation is called enlightenment, Buddhahood. But before obtaining those absolute liberations, we can experience, gradual liberations. From the very first day, we taste the Dharma. The moment the deconstruction of delusion happens, the moment purification of karma happens, every single moment of freedom from the degree of negativities and degree of delusions, and that freedom is also liberation. So generally, there are 5 paths, 10 grounds, or in another word, wisdom and method. These are regarded as the antidote or the path, for us to achieve the awakened state. So therefore, in order to do that, then we have to learn from someone who is expert in that journey, someone who have traveled in that journey. And that's Buddha himself. So the path that we're going to learn is Buddha's teaching. And the teacher that we're going to talk about is the Buddha. And Buddha can be manifest into different aspects. And one of the terms that we use is called Guru. So tonight the subject is on Guru devotion. So therefore, in Lamrim, it categorizes the 2 major, headings in order to discuss the entirety of the Buddha's teaching. First one is the root of the path, the practice of Guru devotion. Then, after actualizing the guru, then how to lead through the path, which is to discuss the gradual, step of the path. So even though in the path there are extensive teachings out there, but then like Lama Tsongkhapa regarded the one topic, the Guru devotion, as important as the main body part. The reason is without the root of the path, the practice of Guru devotion, there's no possible for us to actualize all the benefit along the path. So even in our ordinary world, even ordinary knowledge, we have to rely on teacher, we have to rely on some experts. Even cooking, we need to learn from others. Then the journey towards the enlightenment, that's something that we never traveled before. So therefore, we have to learn from someone. And that figure from whom we learn, you can call as a Buddha, you can call as a guru, you can call as a teacher, you can call as a spiritual friend. So there are many different type of terms that we can see in the scriptural text like that. So now the path that what we're going to learn, it is concerning, beyond our ordinary experiences, beyond our ordinary capability. So therefore, the paths are far more profound, far more complexity than compared to any form of advanced knowledge, that we can able to learn within our institutions. You see, so one of the aspects of the profundity of the path is to get experience, from the application of those paths. Like paths such as like loving kindness, compassion, wisdom. These are the paths. In order for us to experience the maximum benefit of Dharma path, such as in loving kindness, compassion, wisdom, we have to habituate it. We have to apply into our experience. And that experience has to be, experience from a deeper level of our conscious. So therefore, just knowing intellectual understanding, intellectual knowledge, we won't able to achieve the maximum benefit of the Buddha Dharma. You see. So therefore, the teacher also, from whom all the teaching that we learn, has to have the the technique, the blessing, how to say, that's something that which go beyond our intellectual level. So in order to do that, then the teacher who provide the Dharma or the scripture that which who is spoken by has to have extraordinary qualities. The qualities that which how to say, those qualities are not something easily can be actualized or easily can be equipped. You see, so therefore, it is necessary to understand, those characteristics of the perfect teacher. So once we find the qualified teacher, then through the reliance, we can receive the maximum benefit of the Dharma. So therefore, the topic that what we're going to discuss, we will discuss on the characteristic of the teacher. So just having the characteristic of the teacher, again, is not sufficient to fully, actualize the benefit of the Dharma. The student, the practitioner, the spiritual seeker, too need to equip with, qualities, characteristics. Not everyone has the capability to digest the Dharma. Again, it's not just having, the basic intelligence is not good enough. The spiritual practitioners, the spiritual learner, spiritual seeker need to have special qualities which is beyond our ordinary, the quality like intelligence. You see. So therefore, the topic should be discussed also about what are the qualities of the student should equip. Then once the existing of qualified teacher and qualified disciple is there, then how to relate, how to rely, to actualize the maximum benefit. And there are, the practices like such as relying on thought, relying on action, which extensively discussed in the Lamrim teaching, spiritual path enlightenment. So we would discuss briefly on that too. Then we also it's also beneficial to discuss the advantage of relying, finding perfect spiritual teacher and relying on to it. And also beneficial to discuss the disadvantage, the losses of not finding perfect spiritual teacher and the disadvantage of not relying on to it. So these are the topics that roughly we're going to discuss. So in short, the subject on Guru devotion is a very sophisticated subject. Especially in the West, it can be bit tough in relation to not so familiar with the culture. But then if we explain the absolute teaching clearly, then in fact, this teaching is marvelous, and which is one of the most necessary practice, and in fact one of the most beautiful and one of the very easy practice that we can able to engage. So therefore, we try to have some discussion to clear, if there are any concern, especially those of you that who already practice Buddhism for some time, and at the same time that from the exposure in the Guru devotion teachings like in Lamrim, or from attending lectures on Guru devotion teachings, and if there are how to say, unclarities, misunderstandings, doubts, so we can, we try to clear, from these 2 days, 2 sessions, the discussion, and hope that we can also do some question answers in that. Yeah, so so whenever we talk about Guru Yoga or Guru devotion practice, one thing that we may come to understanding or even can trigger some misunderstanding. There is a sense of submission, your submission to one particular figure called Guru. And in that practice, almost seems like yourself losing the independency, as if like you are, very much under the control or has to behave, has to do accordingly with whatever that person says, and there's a sense of insecurity, sense of doubt, whether I can able to rely in such person, and whether such person will lead me to virtue after virtue, happiness after happiness, benefit after benefit, because of we have so much of the conventional samsaric experience of disappointment through reliance on people or certain objects, and either due to the having heavy ignorance, and didn't know how to judge whether it's beneficial or not, or either due to the karmic obscuration because of having past karma, due to mistreated others. Then whenever you rely on somebody, you always get mistreated, or literally or conventionally, the object to whom that you're relying has no quality, no virtuous quality, no capability to fulfill the purpose of your reliance, So due to that, then when we come into a spiritual world, we have that kind of concern. And all these concerns are valid concerns. And we do encounter all sort of struggles in relation to few points that I've just said, even in relation to guru-disciple relationship. Yeah. So therefore, it is necessary for us to, learn the basic characteristic of the person to whom you're going to rely on. But before that, first of all, we need to understand why we need to rely on. As I mentioned before, that we need to learn the correct path, and we need to be led by someone who had trouble before, to that path. But more than that, But more than that, we need the inspirational figure, inspiration in virtue, inspiration in dharma. Main reason of relying on a spiritual teacher, main reason of entering into the spiritual path is to transform, our ordinary being. The ordinary being that who is overwhelmed with delusion, overwhelmed with karma, then lacking of virtue, lacking of merits, lacking of wisdom. So therefore, what we really, the main purpose is, someone can able to condition you, to purify those negativities, purify delusions, then condition you to develop those virtues, those method and wisdom. In order to do that, the main job is not by the teacher. The teacher's responsibility is very much teaching you the correct method and being as an inspirational figure, throughout your journey. The main job is you yourself have to do. You see, but the main job for your what you're supposed to do is, as mentioned before, to purify karma, purify delusion, develop virtues, develop wisdom and compassion and path, etc. So therefore, as an ordinary being, we need someone to inspire you, to dedicate your time, to generate a joyous effort into it. Then, so this is beside giving us the correct guidance, correct path. The teacher has to be a role model of inspiration. You see, as mentioned before, if it's ordinary knowledge, then you don't have to be inspiration figure. As long as you give the knowledge, it's good enough. But spiritual guru or spiritual teacher, then on top of correct knowledge, providing correct knowledge, most important, throughout the journey, until you have actualized a state of the purpose, which is enlightenment, that figure has to be the inspirational figure. You see, inspirational figure. Yeah, so like that. So from that point of view, someone who can able to be your inspirational figure, beside giving you the correct path, then that person is, more precious than anyone else. If someone can able to be that figure in your life, then that person is kinder than anyone. Therefore, in Lamrim teaching, that your guru, when it comes to quality, then no different than all the Buddhas. But when it comes to kindness, guru is kinder than the 10 generation Buddhas, or guru is kinder than the Buddha of the 3 times. So giving the reason before. The reason is not just giving knowledge, but most of all, remaining as an inspiration for you to be consistent in the journey of your enlightenment. You see, yeah. So therefore, then, and this is so necessary because without the correct Dharma path, as well as the condition of the being as an inspiration figure, one ordinary samsaric student, there won't be any moment total freedom from entirety of the suffering of samsara. You see, without that figure, no way we can able to achieve the highest level of quality. Without that figure, no way we can able to achieve the greatest, the lasting state of happiness. Not only that, we won't even able to achieve temporary happiness. We won't able to achieve just basic virtue wisdom. You see, so so you see, so this basic wisdom and even ordinary virtues, it is so necessary to fulfill your innate aspiration or innate wishes. That innate aspiration or wishes is, which we always express. As long as we have this consciousness of sentient beings, always express that. It's the innate voice. It's our inner voice, which is always wanting happiness. And do not want even a slightest form of suffering, not even for a second. But the actual fact is, all the happiness, even its momentary happiness or everlasting happiness, does not drop without any reason, without any cause. All has to be byproduct of cause and condition of the past. So since we only wish happiness, whether you like Dharma or not, but one thing is equal for every one of us is we want to be free from trouble, be free from suffering, and only want to experience happiness. More than that, the innate voice of wanting happiness, even though you don't pronounce as a Buddhahood, actually we are asking for Buddhahood. Because no one wants short happiness. If you are asked to choose, you want long happiness or short happiness, temporary happiness or lasting happiness, surely you will say, I want lasting happiness. Surely you will say, I want the genuine happiness. I don't want the fake happiness, isn't it? You see? So the genuine happiness, the lasting happiness, only can achieve when you actualize Buddhahood. When you eradicate entire delusion, entire karma, then only you experience genuine happiness, lasting happiness. So including cockroach and cats and dogs, cows, everyone, deep in their consciousness is wanting happiness. And if they have a language to speak, what type of happiness you want, actually, if they know the term, the happiness of Buddhahood, they will say, I want the happiness of Buddhahood. The only thing is because they don't know the term. Yeah. So you see. So therefore, entire numberless samsaric sentient beings, for sure all of us, unless you're already Buddha, otherwise, we are always, in fact, striving for Buddhahood. Whether you're Buddhist or not, whether you're a spiritual practitioner or not, in deeper level, we are striving for ultimate happiness. We are striving for everlasting peace. So, from Buddhist point of view, that everlasting peace called as Buddhahood. You see, so just the term different, but actually same thing. You see. So now, in order to achieve that innate wishes of ours, even from the selfish point of view, in order to achieve that purpose, we need to accumulate causes. Without causes, not possible. So the causes are the virtues, especially in order to achieve the genuine happiness that we innately wanting. That only can achieve by the highest level of virtue. That is the wisdom and compassion, or wisdom and bodhicitta. Whether you call as you are Mahayanic or not, whether you call spiritual practitioner or not, when we talk about creating the correct and the best cause for the best, most yummy happiness, you need to actualize bodhicitta and wisdom realizing emptiness in actual fact. You see. So now, due to that reason, why guru, why spiritual teacher, why virtuous friend is the most important, because virtuous friend, guru, spiritual teacher is the one who has the wisdom on this path, who has the quality to be the inspiration to continue to get you engaged in the practice to actualize, or in the creation of the causes and conditions to achieve the highest level of happiness, which is the everlasting happiness of enlightenment. So that is the reason why guru is important, why spiritual friend is important, spiritual teacher is important. So that is the main reason. So first we need to know why we need guru in our life. So now, since the guru figure is so precious and so important, then at the same time that comes with a heavy responsibility in the guru. You cannot just pick from everywhere. So therefore, those qualities has to be investigated, has to be searched. The reason is that if in case we find a wrong teacher, non-virtuous friend, thought is virtuous friend but happen to be non-virtuous friend, then not only yourself guided to accumulate the causes of future happiness, but more than that, it will influence negativities. It will influence to develop delusion like anger, delusion like attachment, confusion. More than that, the fracture between the relationship. The guru-disciple relationship fracture. From the karmic point of view, it's a very heavy karma. The karma which has the capability to obscure our mind so intensely. So due to that reason, you see, if you choose wrong one, can go so wrong. If you choose the right one, can go so right. You see. So the only thing that we can determine whether you choose the right one or wrong one is judging on the characteristic the person that will possess. You see. So now, what are those characteristics? Even though in the teaching, like in the Lamrim, and from the Maitreya's, the Bodhisattva Mahayanic Sutra, from the Mahayanic Sutra, explained 10 qualities of Mahayanic Guru. Then from the Vinaya, it teaches 10 different qualities to the Vinaya Guru, Vinaya vows Guru. Then 10 different qualities from the Tantric scripture for the Tantric Guru. So whether the Mahayanic Guru here is referring to someone that who can lead through the progress of the Mahayanic Sutrayana path, guiding to the practice of three principal aspects of the path. Renounce it, cause you to renounce samsara, its causes. Then inspire you to develop a loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta, selflessness, and emptiness. Then lead through the 5 paths and 10 grounds. Vinaya Guru there's someone that who confer the Patimoksha vows, individual liberation vows, like such as like Sangha vows, then lead to the perfect the observation of the path. Tantric guru, someone that who, on the basis of the leading through the Mahayanic path and ground, then leading through the generation and completion stages of the path of the Tantra by initiating and granting the tantric vows, then leading through the process of the generation and completion stage, and cause us to actualize full enlightenment. So, and each field, even though basic 10 qualities are the same, but then each field need to have a specific quality that which you are qualified to be the guru, to conduct those responsibilities. So now, so instead of going one by one, the main thing is that as Maitreya said from the quotation from the first line, that you can understand the first quality is pure morality. Then second quality is the in the text it says serene. The third one is say thoroughly pacified. So first one is referring to the morality, second one is referring to the concentration, the third one is referring to the wisdom. So in short, it's referring to the 3 higher trainings. So the spiritual teacher, whether you are Vinaya Guru, Mahayani Guru, Tantra Guru, the main foundation of the practice is the training in 3 higher trainings. So whether you are developing Vinaya practices, whether you are developing Mahayanic Sutrayana practices, whether you are developing Tantra practices, without the basis of the 3 higher training, practice in 3 higher training, nothing can be developed. You see. So when the spiritual teacher hold pure moral ethic, that itself is qualified to be your perfect inspiration. That just now we were talking about how important it is. You see, pure the morality. The spiritual teacher who observe morality, then the teacher will have a confidence to instruct your disciple to cultivate the practice of morality, which is the root, which is the basis for you to gain the concentration and high wisdom. You see. Then not only that, as mentioned before, the spiritual teacher is not just the knowledge, not just be there as what you call the inspirational figure, but need to have the capability to transmit, capability to transmit the blessing. This is exactly what I said before. Not like ordinary knowledge. Spiritual knowledge, is beyond ordinary. Even the greatest ordinary wisdom, like the knowledge of doctor, etc., much more than that. You see? So here the requirement is the transmission, in order to cause the disciple to develop the path. You see, but in order to transmit the blessing of the path to the disciple, first the teacher, him or herself, need to be in the practice. Without yourself being in the practice, you don't have the basis to transfer. So again, the sutras have said in Lamrim you can really see, without yourself taming, no way you can tame others. without you yourself is tame, no way you can tame others, you see. So therefore, what it means is without yourself observing morality, then you won't able to, cause dharma in the student. Tame means dharma means transform. Dharma, che means transform. You see, means tame the untamed, our old delusional negative habit. You see, what really served the dharma, what really served the capability to tame is the moral, the morality. The morality is the one. It's like kind of like a hand where you can use the knife to chop the potato. You see. So without the hand, even there's a big knife right there, the knife no use. You see, like that. So even there's a knife, you have a hand, but you keep chopping other side, and potato is here. Keep chopping this side. Potato cannot be chopped. You see. So you need a discipline. The basis of the real strength, the morality. Then after that you need concentration, pointed. Then you need the wisdom, the sharp as a knife. Then you can able to eradicate the obstruction to the liberation, obstruction to the enlightenment. So like that. So now, if the guru or the spiritual teacher, spiritual friend, is a sangha, then someone who is observing the sangha precept, those are basic necessity. If from very beginning, if the teacher, spiritual teacher or guru is a lay person, then as a Buddhist spiritual teacher, I think basic moral discipline required is refuge vow and the 5 lay vows. 5 precepts. If a spiritual guru struggle to observe 5 precepts, then very, very basic, Patimosha precept that the observation have a struggle, then it's how to say, it's a common sense. It will be hard to lead, your disciple into a, journey of the pure, development of the 3 higher trainings. You see, so such as, no killing, no stealing, no lying, no sexual misconduct, no intoxications. So I think if someone, whether you are lay or sangha, if from the very beginning you never become sangha, you are lay, you can still be a guru, be a spiritual teacher, but the job of the spiritual teacher is cause the disciple to develop the practice of 3 higher trainings. You see, 3 higher trainings. So the first one is morality. So the basic moral principle, minimum 5 lay vows. You see. So otherwise, can be so intelligent, can be scholar. You can give vast intellectual knowledge, but how to say, but really to cause the disciples to develop the path, it can be very challenging. So therefore, even in the teaching, one of the very important quality is the moral conduct. So you see, so at minimum 5 day vows, like that. Then concentration. So you see, so concentration here. If you are Vinaya guru, then it's a basic, shamatha, or basic shamatha concentration. Within the 6 parami, if we are talking about the Mahayana guru or the tantric guru, then the second quality, the serene here, should refer to the method side of the paths, like such as great compassion, bodhicitta. Within the 6 paramita, up to concentration is the method path. Number 6 is the wisdom path. You see, so so if this was a serene, take as one of the qualities of the spiritual teacher, of the mind spiritual teacher, then here serene means your heart is completely, moistured, completely overwhelmed by, genuine sense of compassion to your disciple. You see, then wisdom here for the Vinaya, then as well as the lower vehicles, the guru or the spiritual teacher to cause lower vehicles liberation, then it's very much talking about selfness. If best is to realize emptiness, if not at least realize selflessness. If not at least someone who live a life with very selfless attitude. Whatever you do is very much do on the basis of how to say, the interest or the well-being of the disciple, well-being of the student. Not for yourself. You see. So it's less grasping like that. Even though in the teaching it talks about the thoroughly pacified, referring to realize emptiness, but then the commentary speaks about if you have a realization, that's the best. But if not realized, then at least someone who has cultivating those practices, living in those practices, even in the creational way, So you see, so basic quality of the teacher whom we are searching for is someone who has a well moral discipline, then someone who is pacified, mental attitude, either through shamatha or either through intense loving kindness, compassion, and someone who is really selfless, like that, Then on top of that, this is the basic. Then on top of that, then definitely, someone whom you want to regard as a teacher, then someone should have more knowledge than you. You see, otherwise nothing to learn. You see, then at the same time, if you want to illustrate the three basic quality, on top of the three basic quality, if you want to add another, two qualities, like in the Maitreya's teaching, if possible, all the 10 qualities. If not, then 3 basic. If not, at least five qualities. So on top of three this basic quality, then you add what you call it, love, the unconditional sense of concern and care, and to the disciple. Then genuine sense of compassion. Genuine sense of compassion and love, one quality. Then add with the more scriptural knowledge, more knowledge than yourself. So this makes the five kind of basic knowledge, like that. What you search in someone to whom that you want to rely or regard as a spiritual teacher. Yeah. So a spiritual teacher who is no moral discipline, then shouldn't rely on. And someone is worse than untamed someone who feels samsara is so miserable and wanting to find a spiritual path. But then when you come with your guru is even more trouble, more unstable of the mind. Then surely your guru is more trouble. Then how in samsara? Then how to lead you from the samsara, isn't it? So obviously understood. you know, then you know, when you understand the person, the person is more grasping, you know, grasping to possession, grasping to name, fame, grasping to respect, you know, grasping to all the worldly concern. But here you are spiritual seeker who actually want to renounce the worldly concern, you know, and you need someone to inspire you, someone to teach you. But yet your spiritual teacher is even more grasping. Then surely understood, you know, excuse me, you know, you have to put aside. You see? So it is quite clear. But then, in order to do that, then you know, when you look for a spiritual teacher, then you shouldn't use your emotion. You know, you shouldn't use emotion. There's an example stated in the teaching saying that don't be like the you know, the hungry dog meeting the meat, finding meat. You know, hungry dog, you find any meat, doesn't matter whether there's poison or not, you will eat, isn't it? So it shouldn't be doing like that, you know, because this matter is so important in your journey of spiritual practice, which good or bad, which will affect you know, up to your absolute enlightenment. You know, and if the journey is going to take 3 countless eons a lifetime, you know, if something goes wrong, you know, it will affect greatly, negatively, for that much period of time. You know, it benefits, then it benefits, you know, that long, you know, that great like that. So therefore, you say, it depends. So to say, don't do like, you know, dog meeting you know, a flesh of meat. Like that, so you see. So therefore, shouldn't use our basic emotion. Our basic emotion is very much superficial, very much not kind of like a bit, not using the basis of wisdom. You know, it's very much using the you know, using the sensual the mind. And the sensual minds are, you know, in the first place, already hallucinated. Then more than that, you know, is very much on the basis of sensual destruction. So therefore, it can make a lot of mistakes. So you really need to, you know, use your wisdom mind. And the wisdom mind is nothing other than knowing this characteristics, you know, and knowing the reason why you are searching for your guru. You know, you need to be very clear your purpose. You know, your purpose to find a guru is not finding companion to go for pizza. You know, you're not finding companion to have a coffee. You know, you're not finding someone that when you feel lonely, you give a call. Say, Guru, I feel lonely. You know, Guru, talk to me. So finding Guru, not like that. You see, but many do that. You see, oh, Guru is very handsome. You know, that person who facing down, you know, who are very handsome, very attractive. So I think he should be my Guru. You know, big mistake. You see. Oh, that Guru speaks so sweet, so well, you know. Oh, that should be my Guru. Total mistake. You see. Oh, that teacher, you know, that teacher, not Guru yet, but that teacher, I would say, you know, teach exactly what I wanted to hear. You know. And I think he should be my guru. You see, what we samsaric senjin we want to hear, the very samsaric way. Because when the teacher speaks the truth, the dharma is very much like contradicting to the, I mean, not very much, it's totally contradicting to the samsaric way, to the worldly way, you know. Because dharma is antidote to samsara. Dharma is antidote to worldly, you know, ideas, worldly experiences. Dharma is totally. So when the true teacher, genuine teacher, talks about real Dharma, it's kind of like pointing out your faults, like that. You say anger, anger no good. You say if you get one moment of anger, destroy, 3 countless eons of accumulation of goodness will be wasted. Then we know, many of us, we get angry. Oh, I come here, this teacher made me more depressed. Because I get angry this morning, I get angry many times, and now he now concludes saying that, wow, I did the worst thing. Oh, this one, not my guru, So, someone, someone behave, totally samsaric way. Party, drink, be exactly the very samsara, and that is so soothing, and it suits so well with our samsaric sensual mind. Our sensual mind is whenever the destructive samsaric sensual objects arises, we get excited, we feel very happy, very happy, you see. But in actual fact, you are adding more fuel to the fire, like adding more fuel to the fire, like that. So you see, so Dharma is whenever you hear the real Dharma, actually can be quite heart-aching thing, because when the real Dharma teacher teach the Dharma, need to point out the disciple's fault. Need to point out, point right to the nose, you have this fault. You have anger, that's why anger is fault. You have much desire, attachment. Oh, this is a mistake in you. You must get rid of it. In today's time, if you do that, your guru will be sued. Your guru will be sued to the court. So easy. So, yeah, like that. So that's why the realized beings are getting lesser and lesser, because now guru cannot show entire quality. The real guru quality, guru had to, not the disciple adjusting with the guru, but guru had to adjust with the disciple. This is the situation coming. So can you imagine in the past the Kadamba masters, how Lama Atisha behaved with Domdamba, how Domdamba behaved with his disciple Poto, then Chenawa, like that, how Nagarjuna behaved with his disciple, how Guru Shakyamuni Buddha, deal with his disciple, you see. Actually there are a lot of strictness, there's a lot of strictness, very firm, first thing is both guru and disciple, both very strict in moral discipline, then a lot of practice of concentration, and a lot of practice of wisdom, you see, like that. So you see, so nowadays, if guru who can go more time to the beach, then is better guru. Guru, hours and hours, teach the Dharma, and say, oh, this guru too tiring, If guru always teach and teach and teach, then it's very boring, Guru make a lot of job, lot of samsaric job, and say, oh, very exciting guru, It's very, very, I should go to that lecture, more people turn out to the lecture. When the guru speaks this real Dharma, he said, this is very boring, this is too hard, So you see, so that's why I'm saying, you see, if we don't use the actual, the wisdom of understanding the purpose why you need guru, then there's a danger of, emotion is the one that, judging, that guru is qualified or not. You see, so that can go wrong. You see, so like that. Yeah. So now, okay, what is the time? I have time? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So bit stressful? bit stressful?
¿Estáis agobiando un poco?
So yes, so therefore, really have to be, really have to know, at least these basic qualities, when you look for guru. But then there are, cases that, since guru is so important, since guru is, so beneficial, and since guru is really, really needed in your spiritual growth, then you kind of find, a rush to jump into conclusion. People do that and make a lot of mistake too. So in actual fact, we are never lacking of guru. As long as you aspire in Buddha Dharma, Guru Shakyamuni Buddha is always our guru. Guru Shakyamuni Buddha is our root guru. You see, and Guru Shakyamuni Buddha will never disappoint you. In entirety of his actions, which illustrate in 84,000 teaching, you look word by word. Everything is beneficial and inspiring to you. You see, as mentioned before, the guru means someone who gives knowledge as well as be an inspirational figure who can inspire you to become like that. So Guru Shakyamuni Buddha is out there, always perfect inspiration. And he have taught entire complete path. You see. So when you really want to tie a spiritual guru-disciple relationship, you can tie that with Shakyamuni Buddha. Why not? If someone who don't have much opportunity to relate to a spiritual teacher, to look for a perfect guru, then no need to stress up, no need to feel that I don't have guru. So we should take Shakyamuni Buddha. You see, first time when you become Buddha, when you become Buddhist, we take refuge, isn't it? The moment we take refuge in Buddha, in fact we are taking Guru Shakyamuni Buddha as our guru. That refuge figure is, in fact, is our teacher, our guru. We already committed to follow his advice, follow his teaching, behave according with his teaching, cultivate his teaching, you see. So, someone who absolutely, without any doubt, going to lead you to the spiritual growth, absolutely going to protect you, from negativities, the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, the enlightened quality, the Buddha, you see, the enlightened, the Dharma, enlightened quality, the Dharmakaya is the Buddha, you see, Buddha refuge. Then the Dharma refuge is all his realizations, the wisdom, the methods, all those who already achieved, already awakening Dharma refuge. The Sangha, the Nimanakaya, the Sambhavakaya, Guru Shakyamuni Buddha, Sambhavakaya, Nimanakaya aspect is the Sangha. Without, no way will disappoint you. Always assist. Assist here is, as mentioned before, not to go coffee, not to go for pizza together. Assist here means inspire you. We say Sangha refuge. Assist you means inspire you. Continue to learn Dharma. Continue to cultivate the Dharma. Continue to develop the path. You see? So, Buddha, when you take the refuge in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, you already found your Guru. You see? So, then, on top of that, then if your merit and karma is capable, then when you meet the the perfect country guru, then you can move forward. Then if you inspire to take a vow, Sangha vow, then you can move forward from there. But then at the initial stage, we don't have to feel that we have no guru. The moment, the day one, that we have guru. So like that. So therefore, there's not something that we must rush. Yes, it is so important. Yes, you know, if you don't have a guru, then it's really lacking one of the most important thing in your life. You know, so when you don't have refuge in a Buddha, yes, truly, you know, we are lacking huge thing in our life. Well, having this precious human rebirth, we are not even ready to commit to one of the most amazing, perfected, you know, enlightened beings such as Buddha. Then it's a big, big loss, isn't it? You see. So, so therefore, so as long as you have, you know, Buddha as in your spiritual path as inspiration, then rest, to take the vow, to take the initiation, is a gradual, you know, not a rushing process. It's a gradual process. Even in this lifetime, that you really cannot find perfect qualified, you know, tantric guru, then you continue to practice on the basis of refuge. You continue to practice the Dharma. The day that you are, you know, fully developed both wisdom of emptiness and bodhicitta, you already reach part of like the 10 bhumi, then 5 minutes before or one night before, you know, without you going to find the guru, you know, Buddha will manifest into a deity, or Buddha will manifest into a Vajradhara, then will initiate you, then actualize the completion, you know, generation completion stages of the path, just within that 5 minutes, and you will actualize enlightenment. You see, so it's not something that I must do everything right now. Yeah, if you find perfect guru, then of course, you know, then you don't have to go through these 3 countless eons of lives following the common path. You know that much benefit. But if in case you encounter wrong spiritual teacher, you are unable to commit to the guru yoga or guru devotion practice, then it becomes a huge obscuration, you know, to your spiritual growth. You know, due to that, then has to be very serious, you know, to finding a perfect qualified guru. You see, you know, the example, the teaching illustrated by Asanga in relation to Maitreya, it took 12 years, you know, to really see, you know, to really encounter the perfect guru Maitreya through a disciple Asanga. You see, so it requires immense of purification, you know, from the common virtues and common path. We need to, you know, through engaging that, you know, purify our heart, purify our negativities. You know, even Buddha appear, even the guru who is actually in Buddha, but because of oneself, heavy obscuration of wrong view and karma, then, you know, you tend to see the faults, you know, to the guru. You see, so therefore we need to understand the purpose. You know, even your guru may not be Buddha. So therefore, my purpose to rely on this unenlightened guru, who is my guru, is only to, you know, what you call get the benefit of whatever goodness and the virtuous quality that he may or she may have, you know. But in order to have that kind of, in order to equip that kind of quality in disciples, require great purification of karma. You know, otherwise it becomes like Devadatta. You know, Devadatta is with Buddha, but everything Buddha does, you know, he sees faults. You see, and the karma that he committed even go to the lower level. You see, even you are with Buddha, like that. You see, so therefore, first of all, we need to know the purpose. Secondly, we need to practice the common virtue in order to accumulate as much virtue as possible, as much merit as possible, you know, as much purification as possible. Then, with those basic qualities, when you meet, when you rely, then, you know, can cause even one lifetime enlightenment, or one enlightenment within this very cushion, you know, like that. So, so you see, so yeah. Any question? So I think maybe better I keep quiet a little bit. Any question? No question, then I will continue. Yeah. Any question in relation to this, you know, guru devotion, the idea or the teachings of, you know, guru devotion, or anything what I said just now that you don't agree, or you want to add? Welcome. Yes.
Can you also look at the Dalai Lama as a guru?
Yes, of course. Yeah, of course. Like, you know, someone like His Honesty Dalai Lama. There's nothing. There's you know, if you just scan through entire his life, you know, everything that he does is inspirational and full of wisdom. You know, he's an ocean of wisdom. Like then, like Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you know, you look at entire his life from very little up to today. You know, everything is Bodhisattva's conduct, Bodhisattva's action, Bodhisattva's deeds. You know, day and night, not just pretending, not just try to do good in 1 year, for 1 year, you know, for 1 day, not like that. Entire his life. You see. So, so there are, you know, rare, but there are still perfect gurus, still among us, you know, among us. So, you see, again, you know, when you want to relate to Dalai Lama or to Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you know, etc., I think you shouldn't be relying based on my recommendation or someone's recommendation. You know, it is still beneficial for you to establish the faith on the basis of wisdom. You know, faith on the basis of wisdom. At least like have a glance scanning of their life, their activities, their motivation, their vision. They always speak about what their vision is, what their motivation is. Then, at the same time, whatever they preach, it speaks through their action. You see. So, you know, yeah. If someone is asking to recommend, I can so confidently can recommend. But then, if someone already have a certain capability of, you know, wisdom to discriminate what is right, what is wrong, can yourself again using your own wisdom, then would be, you know, you can able to establish unshakable faith. You know, like once you tie the knot, it's like nothing can break. You know, so the guru-disciple relationship have to come to a stage that have to establish that nothing can destroy. Even guru behave like a street dog after you rely, still you're able to see, you know, guru in Buddha. You know, like as said in the tantra bestowing of the initiation. In the tantra bestowing of the initiation, it says, you know, how we should regard, you know, our the human guru to whom you are relating to, like you are relating to. Then the answer in there says, you know, you view that spiritual guru as like how you would relate or how you would view Bhagavan, the Buddha. You see. Then also stated in the Tantra bestowing the Vajrapani initiation. In there it stated that if once you establish guru-disciple relationship, then how should you practice? How should you receive the maximum benefit? And it says, always refer or view in qualities. Then you will achieve the Buddha's qualities in relation with that practice. And never, even a moment or even one, never focus or never view even the slightest faults. Even there is also never view in that. But if you view the fault, then it's you will not. It will obstacle to enlightenment. So these are the how we should practice like that.
Can you tell something like example about the relation between Milarepa and Marpa?
Yeah. Yeah, Milarepa and Marpa. So, like like in our time, especially in this modern time, when we have a strict teacher, when Guru give us a lot of tasks, and if we are not clear about the purpose of why you reliance on that Guru, then we tend to feel it's like burden. It tends like Guru giving me a lot of troubles or burdens or challenges, and you tend to feel tired, tends to feel sense of losing, the diligent, etc. But in actual fact, even today, perfect gurus, like Maestro Rinpoche, like this one, they are practicing exactly like how Marpa, train and help Milarepa, to purify the karma. Then, actualize the what you call the conducive, vessel, to really to receive the absolute benefit of the Dharma when the Guru revealed, some instructions like the Dharma nectar. So, because of Milarepa committed immense of negative karma, not only the general karma of samsara, but in particularly within that lifetime, commit of killing a lot of people, destroying the livelihood, village, So all this obscuration of karma, even without purifying that, even you initiate, even you give a vow, you cannot receive the blessing, you cannot receive the benefit, So due to that, then Marpa give immense of task to Milarepa, like such as building this 9-story, house, etc. So unbelievable task, you see. But following that, then he purified his karma. Then after that, when he was instructed, given Dharma instruction for meditation, then within one lifetime he able to actualize full enlightenment. So similarly, in today's time, if we understand this clear reason why gurus are giving us a lot of commitments, a lot of practices, a lot of projects, a lot of work in the center, it is solely to cause us to purify our karma faster and actualize all the benefit of Dharma faster in realization. You see? So something like that. You want me to tell the whole story of Milarepa or what? This is what you're expecting or what?
not only the example, because it was difficult for Milarepa to confiar, to trust in his.
Oh yeah. Milarepa, Milarepa. Yes, you know, because of their still a lot of karma. That's why, you know, he now and then doubted, but he haven't established Marpa as a guru yet. So we also should be skeptical at the beginning. You know, the way for us to get a progress. I mean, today's time, I think, you know, none of the guru will give us like a Milarepa's task. You know, so that now the only task is put effort to go and listen the lecture, listen the teachings. Whenever Dharma centers, they organize Dharma teachings from different teachers. So just regard as someone is lecturing. You don't have to regard as a guru. Go and listen. And that is as hard as like what Milarepa going through constructing 9 story. You know, today's time to come to Dharma class is not easy, isn't it? Laziness put you back, or maybe party. Your friends say come for party. You know, say, oh, I choose beer or I choose teaching. I rather choose beer. You know, I choose pizza. You know, not need beer, also pizza and Dharma class. Rather choose pizza. You know, so or weather. Oh, today is a bit freezing. You know, I better stay back. I don't want to go to Dharma lesson. Or maybe sometimes Dharma programs are also need to give some donations. You know, 5, 10 euros, whatever, 10, 20, 30, whatever euro. Say, oh no. But actually, for beer, it costs more than that, actually. Or pizza costs more than that. But you don't mind spending for the pizza or beer or movie. But when it comes to Dharma, you say, oh, 5 euro is, oh no, too much. You know. So all these are very tough struggles, you know, for many, you know, for many, you see. So this is like as equal as how Milarepa struggled at the beginning. So you put effort, you know, even it's hard, but you say, okay, at least I must, you know, I should, you know. This can repeat other time, but teaching, you know, how many times, you never know. At least, you know, go and try it out. You know, see, maybe I may get a lot of wisdom, or maybe it's beneficial for my betterment of life, etc. You know, or who knows, maybe on that teaching may cause me enlightenment. You know, who knows? You know? All these kind of different kind of ideas and reasons, and make yourself, even though it's so hard, but make yourself to be in the Dharma discourse. Then that time, you will have a very special experiences. You know, when you listen to the teaching, you may get inspired, or maybe from the teaching you may not get inspired, but as a person, you know, it's like very familiar with this person, and you feel very inspired, you know, without even word. And that trigger, that condition to your positive karma, to get closer to find your correct guru, you know. But then you're still not 100% sure. Then okay, and you go for another class. You know, you go for maybe for 20 years you continue to go for the classes. Even if it takes 20 years, you're still not 100% convinced. Never mind. You see? So this is the how we try to find a spiritual teacher in today's time. For the Milarepa, he was introduced by some his earlier teachers, you know, where he was looking for teacher, but he encountered who can teach him black magic. I mean, first black magic. Secondly, he was encountered with the teacher who can teach certain degree, but not absolute the entirety of the tantric teaching. And then this teacher introduced Milarepa to go and look for this particular called Marpa, you know. So when he reached there, it took a long time for him to observe, you know. Then eventually, from many factors, like the help of Marpa's wife, or even the chore that he's been engaging in, purification of the karma. At the same time, his wisdom is each time, each day passes, his mind is getting clearer and clearer and clearer, And finally, when his mind is clear from the karma, then Madhva is ready to grant you the teaching, and right there, you and the Madhva and Milarepa establish the Guru-Disciple relationship, and that directly causes him to actualize enlightenment within one lifetime. So something like that. Thank you.
Excuse me, I will ask in Spanish, my colleague
Sure.
translate for me. El maestro es único, es decir, debes tener uno solo en cada momento. Digo porque ahora las nuevas tecnologías tú puedes tener contacto con personas que están en cualquier parte del mundo, tienes acceso a mucha información, muchos vídeos, es decir, tú puedes tener lo que te permite tener varios maestros, o por el contrario debes buscar uno más cercano y tener esas personas como referentes.
The teacher should be just one person in your life, or due to nowadays there are so much internet and you can contact so many teachers.
Mm-hmm. So teacher is very much depend on individual's capability. The capability of faith, capability to able to fulfill the instruction of the Guru. Yeah. So if you have more number of teachers, then whenever you receive teaching, whenever you request advice, so not necessarily all the teacher will give you the same advice or same commitments, same practices. But then at the same time, once you rely on the teacher, one of the very important practices, one of the very important practice, and it is also one of the way to really get the maximum benefit of relying on the teacher is follow the instruction absolutely. So in that case, if the advice comes in the number, if the advice comes in the accumulation of prayers, practices in the pages, then sometimes we only have 24 hours a day, and at the same time you have family duty, job, and sometimes you may not able to fulfill. Then when we are not able to fulfill, sometimes our mind get disturbed instead of benefiting, and sometimes can be trouble. You see, but then if you can manage, then you can have many gurus. Like in the past, like Lama Atisha, 507 gurus. 507 gurus. But there are Katamba masters that one guru, one deity, one practice. And many have actualized enlightenment within one lifetime, just like that. But then, like Lama Atisha, who also actualized enlightenment within one lifetime, rely on 507 gurus, and perfectly, cultivated the Guru Yoga practice. And today's time, similar. It's up to individual. Yeah. Maybe one thing I want to add. If in case, if you are taking some responsibility to hold lineage, say lineage of the initiation, lineage of the oral transmission, lineage of the commentaries, or lineage of the vows that you want to pass down to your new generation, your disciple, then some guru, may not have all the lineage. I want to say, not necessarily one guru possess all the lineage. So because of that, because of one lineage, you may need to rely on another guru. So until that you're collecting all the different lineage, that it can go more than 100 or even 1,000 possible. You never know, you see. So in that case, for that particular practitioner, yes, it's a huge homework. So those, our gurus, our living gurus who grant us initiations, who grant us transmissions, a lot of homework. Every day, like me, I'm a small potato, uncooked potato, like that. Accumulate, I don't know, altogether maybe about 6 hours. Just to do the prayer, just to do the commitment, about 6 hours every day. So you see, so if I need to work, if I have a family, 6 hours is very tough for me. Luckily, I'm monk and I have no family to take care, no job, particular job to go on timely. So I can pretty okay, and I'm just starting, how many, if I'm alive, I will continue to collect more and more. Then almost the entire day will be filled up like that. Yeah, but this is more like if you take some responsibility, if you want to pass down to others, and each initiation, like you need to hold commitment without interrupting even a day. Otherwise you're not qualified to pass down to someone. We call unbroken lineage. Your masters have practiced like that. Now, if you want to take some responsibility transmitting to others, then you need to practice like that. Otherwise, you can't bless, you can't transmit. So this, that's why in one way the gurus are not easy job. Sure, we stop here? Okay. Yeah.
Quería decir una cosa. Mañana Geshe Lama va a comer en el ecocentro, será a la 1:30 y todo el que quiera venir puede venir. Hay una hoja ahí en la puerta de salida con el teléfono. Los que tengáis interés, llamáis por teléfono hasta las 12:30 y reserváis para comer en la comida de Nagarjuna. Geshe Lama está muy contento, se lo hemos contado antes, que venga todo el que quiera.
So thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, so we take short time to dedicate, okay? To dedicate the merit. Yeah, so at the beginning of the session, we all set up bodhicitta motivation. Then during the session we have discussed on Dharma, in particularly very important subject on Guru devotion, So therefore, without any doubt, we purify much karma even this short time. We have accumulated collectively so much merit. So may this collective merit be the complete cause for numberless sentient beings to purify their samsara, and it causes the karma dilution and actualize state of full enlightenment without delay, even a moment. Yeah. Then also this collective merit we dedicate specifically to all the suffering, people, suffering animals, like such as so many animals, bacteria die in this Amazon fire. There's so many fire crises going around the world. How many? Can you imagine how many animals dies? Then how many animals are struggling, between death and life. And there's there's one. I think in Pamloma there's one parrot, Siku, Kisu, Kiru. Then there's yesterday in Bilbao there's one dog. There's one dog. One dog who asked to pray. Then similarly, you may know there are animals or people who are suffering, who are in hospital, who are struggling. So we take opportunity to dedicate this collective merit to be the complete cause and condition to purify the suffering it causes and actualize freedom and happiness. And also dedicate this collective merit to all the good people in this world, like Dalai Lama, Geshe Lama Rinpoche, who are source of world peace, who are source of happiness and virtues, harmony, within the humanity and to the world. So may this merit be the complete cause for them to actualize all the conducive conditions such as long life, good health, fulfilling all the aspirations accordingly. And also dedicate this collective merit to all the negative people, like who's causing so much destruction and suffering to sentient beings, such as those terrorists, etc. They are doing wrong things. They are harming others because of their lacking of merit, their lacking of virtue, lacking of merit. So therefore, they are desperately need, help. Like people like us, we have the capability to accumulate merit. We have freedom to dedicate, so we should dedicate all our collective merit to ripen within all the distracted people and pacify all this negativity, actualize loving kindness, compassion, and be the cause of happiness of the sentient being. And also dedicate this collective merit all the Sangha communities and Sangha, individual Sanghas or Sangha communities, to have good health, long life, and actualize all their, the deeds of preservation of Dharma through learning, through practices. So without the Sangha community, then it's lacking the conducive community who can preserve the Dharma, which is so necessary, so important, so needed for the happiness of sentient being. And like Geshe Lama Rinpoche always dedicate our merit to all the world leaders, the leaders of the nation, leaders of the state, leaders of the society, leaders of the family. Whoever is the main person in the family, all these leaders, only cultivate loving kindness, compassion. So that they can able to lead their people, their family, their community with much peace, happiness, and virtue. Then finally, we dedicate this collective merit to each and every one of you to have a good health, long life, prosperity, and most importantly, may each and every one of our life be most beneficial for the happiness of numberless sentient beings through the preservation of abundance of virtues, taking a lot of precepts, reframing, causing harm to others through engaging in like such as 10 non-virtuous actions. And also dedicate this collective merit to the particular center here, all the directors, past, present, future directors, SPCs, committees, then all the teachers who have taught, all the volunteers, all the students, directly, indirectly come in contact with this center, always enjoy, perfect health, long life, prosperity, and continue to, work for the well-being of numberless sentient beings. So now take one moment to feel rejoice. How fortunate that in such a short, 1.5 hour, such a short time, I am able to share my life with numberless sentient beings, that also with much virtue, and sincere, wholehearted, open heart, sending your prayers, your merit. It's almost like miracle happen. Usually not always happen like that. And suddenly today we are able to do that. So therefore, it's really, really fortunate. Feel so fortunate. O Chanjo Semjo Rinpoche, Mate Panam Kejuji, Kiawa Nyemba, Meba Yampone, Kondo, Pewarai, Sho, Kari Ravi Kobe Shingam de Tenan de Wamale Juen, Chere Simon de Zinjas, Shabe Sede Bado Tenjuji, Tupsu Chachi Jambon Jave, Zinjon Peve, Kursu Toboshi, Chozo Kobe Elementor, Tazo de Jekondo Shabden Show. Thank you very much. Good night. Thank you.